I'm here with Speer from SpearMethod.com, and we're going to answer some of your guys' questions today. So the first question is, what is plowing, basically, and how do you, the first question, Speer, is how do you keep plowing? Basically, how do you keep the conversation just moving?
Well, the idea of plowing is never giving up. And you just talk about whatever. One of the easiest ways to do it is either ask open-ended questions that evoke some type of emotion or reaction from the girl, or is just feed off of each other's conversation. So if you were to tell me about this cool club, I'd say awesome, and I'd tell you about this cool club. If you say you saw this amazing show, then I'd kind of feed off of it and say, oh well, I saw this amazing show. And that way we kind of feed off of each other in a conversation, and it's a mutual conversation instead of this you have to talk 90% of the time bullshit. Because you want to be involved. So just never give up. Continue talking.
Okay, so what's LEI, and how is it able to stick to the emotional and instinctual notes?
Well, LEI is the Speer method, and essentially it's the system we follow. And it follows logic, emotion, and instinctual notes. And the way it works, the way you actually want to do it is, women are very emotional, and the way you want to stick to it is by drawing something that you know is emotional, whether it's sadness, anger, happiness, love, relationship, anything that you've ever gotten emotional about. Think about it and really digest it. And anything that you've gotten emotional about, or you've seen other people gotten emotional about, just talk about those topics. It's pretty simple.
Okay, so I know you won the Best PUA Lifestyle Award, but are you really actually able to help people create this amazing lifestyle?
Of course! You don't have to be rich or successful or any of that stuff. The real key, the real secret here is you just have to know what's going on in your town. And you have to know what type of women you want as well, right? If you're looking for librarian types, then probably the best place you're going to find them is in a library, in a bookstore, on college campuses. If you're looking for models, you want to go to model events. And if you check your local newspaper, or even social sites like, Facebook, MySpace, CityLink, or your own city, and what's going on in town, you'll have an event set up every single day. That doesn't mean you have to go out every day. It just means you have to know what's going on in your town, and that creates this amazing lifestyle for you. The other thing is, you also want to talk to the bouncers and bartenders and promoters and go-go dancers and anyone that's working the venues you go to, so you can kind of get familiar with them, and then when you walk in, everybody kind of knows you, and you're like the star in that setting, and that helps create this amazing lifestyle and cultivate you as a cool guy.
Okay, so we all know that you have this theory of damage control. So can you just explain a little bit about it to me, and tell me why you would use it when communicating with women?
Well, damage control essentially is based off of rational emotive therapy, and let me explain it. It goes, the ABCs of damage control is, first A is the activating event. This is basically what you did to cause the damage in the conversation. B stands for the behavior you get from whoever you're talking to. C is the consequence. The consequence is the reaction you're going to get, and basically, like, if I call the girl fat, she's going to get mad, and I'll see it, right? That's her immediate behavior. The consequence is she'll probably go tell me to go screw myself, right? So D stands for disputing. Disputing what I just said changes E, which is the effect. So how would I dispute calling a girl fat?
I don't know.
Well, let me explain that to you. At one time, I was talking to this girl, and she told me she was a model, and she said she didn't like it. And I said, why don't you like it? And she said, well, because I feel fat. And I was like,
you felt fat because she was a model?
That's what she said. Okay. And I said, well, you're not that fat, which pretty much implies that she is fat. Her face turned red. That was her behavior. Now, before I can actually get the consequence out of her, which is telling me to go blow myself in the parking lot, what I did is I said, the truth of the matter is, models are either anorexic and absolutely disgusting, or they're fat. So thank God they consider you fat, because I think you look gorgeous. Which changed the effect. I got her number, we ended up going out for a little while and having a lot of fun together. So that's kind of the principles of damage control. Now, why would I do this intentionally? Here's why. If you just met someone and he called you fat, would you want to work that out with him?
Not necessarily, no.
No, because who is he to you, right? He's a no one. So what we're trying to do here is I'll actually make us work it out without you ever being aware of it, and that creates a solid connection. And why is that? Because the only people that you work big problems out with is your family, your friends, or people that are close to you. So what I'm using is I'm actually cultivating the power of creating damage and creating the ability to work it out. You know, it's just like if we get into a fight and we have sex afterwards, it's going to be great, passionate sex, right? Because we got past the issues.
Yeah.
So that's basically why I would use it. It creates a more powerful connection, and it also creates this like bond, and now you become a more important person in her life.